Hey everybody, it's Luke over at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got a product from Hohem. This is the iSteadyMobile Plus, and what this is a handheld 3-axis stabilizing gimbal that is made for smartphones. So if you're looking to get steady shots with your smartphone and you do a lot of smartphone recording, maybe for video projects or what have you, then this may be what you're looking for to get more cinematic type of shots, more smooth shots. We're going to dig into this now, and I'll be right back. Okay, so once you get it out of the box, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get this really nice soft shell carry case. It's a zippered case. Hohem logo there on the front. And this is going to be great for storing the gimbal when you're not using it, or if you need to put this in a bag and keep all of the accessories together, you can do that as well. So definitely a cool thing to have for the device. Now, once we get it open here, we're going to have some documentation, of course, first. You do get a user manual here, and you also get a little card that kind of tells you where to go to get the app, either for the App Store or for Google Play, so for iOS or Android, depending on what device you're going to have in the gimbal. So looking through, it is written in English. It's well laid out. It does give you a list of everything here, what all the button assignments are. We're going to go over most of them today, and how to tell your battery life, setting up the Bluetooth connection with the Hohem Joy App, which we will also be covering today as well. So you're going to want to hold on to this. You can also set this up not only in landscape mode, but you can also set this up in portrait mode as well. So if you're going to be doing like YouTube Shorts or TikToks, you can easily do that with this unit. Now, they do give you a charge cable here. It's a USB Type A to USB Type C connection for recharging the battery that's inside the unit itself. Now, the unit itself is going to get about 11 to 12 hours of constant usage before you have to recharge it, and you will be able to charge it with maybe an AC wall adapter to a USB, or you can hook this into any laptop or PC's USB port to charge it up. Now, they do give you a little tripod here that screws into the bottom of the unit if you want to make this stationary. And the reason for that, one of the good reasons for that I found, is that the app that they have has face tracking built in. So the gimbal will follow you. So if you're doing something and you want to leave it in a stationary position, you can hook it up and you can do that. So that's just one example. Now, taking a look at the main unit, of course, we've got a triple axis gimbal here, and we've got a kind of a very nice grip on this as well. Something that I do want to comment on, because you're going to be holding this. You've got your trigger button here, and you've got all of your buttons and setting buttons here. You've got telephoto and wide for zooming. You've got your recording button there. You've got your mode buttons. And speaking of modes, we've got pan and follow, which is your default mode. This is going to be tilt and roll axis. Both are locked. Camera is able to move left or right smoothly, and that's what most people are probably going to use. But you also have pan, tilt, and follow. So pan and tilt follow is going to be roll axis is locked. Camera is able to move left and right and tilt up and down, and that could be useful in a lot of different situations. You can also do the L mode, which is all locked and the camera stays in its current orientation, or POV, which is going to be for tilt axis, roll axis, and pan axis, all follow the movement of the gimbal. Now, as I said before, there's a few ways you can set this up. It's set up to be in horizontal mode in default, but if you want to, you can turn or rotate this clip and then move it up, and then you can set your phone in horizontal mode for YouTube Shorts or TikToks, things like that. There is a screw in the back that you will have to slide back and forth to make sure that your phone is balanced. And then you do that with the gimbal turned off, of course. And then once you turn it on, it should right itself exactly where you need it. The last thing I do want to mention is on the side, you can peel back that protector there, and you're going to have your USB Type-C input for recharging the device, and then you're going to also have a full USB Type-A as an output that you can charge other devices such as your phone as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the Hohem Joy app. You can get this for Android or iOS. I have mine for Android and it's ready to go here. Now I have the gimbal turned on and the iSteadyMobile Plus pops up and asks me for a connection. It'll send a pairing request to my phone and I'll click connect and we are ready and paired. It's that quick and that simple. Now on the home part of the app, they've got a lot of tutorials for anybody that might be new users to smartphone gimbals and gives you tips and stuff like that. You can also go in and check any videos or photos that you take through your gallery. You can join log in and or register for the Hohem Joy app as well, but you don't need to use the app. We're going to launch this right now and we'll take a look at the main screen. Now they give you a few tips here. Obviously, red button for taking pictures and starting your video, and you can do it, of course, from the gimbal itself as well. And then you have filters up at the top here, and you also have hand gestures for starting videos on that right-hand side. On the left, you've got more settings here that we can go into, and face tracking above that. Face and object tracking. So it's pretty decent for its setup. As you can see, the motors, once we move this around, are going to stay in place and keep the phone level for you. So you can see I'm looking at Dr. Strange. I can use move around and he stays in the frame with a very little to no shake because of the motors, and it works out really, really well. So this is the app itself, and of course you'll be doing the recording through this. You can do it with your regular app if you want, but there are a little bit more features that they have built in to this app that we're going to go over real quickly. You can see I can use the zoom here, and it doesn't use my optical zoom, it uses digital, so it's not going to be quite as good as using the built-in camera app, but you can use it in a pinch if you need to get a closer shot. Now pushing the button, the little red button on the right hand side of the gimbal, will start our video here where we can take a video, and you can see if my hand moves or my body moves, you're going to have that in frame shot there, and it's going to do its best to keep it like that for you. So the motors work really, really well in here, and there is literally almost no sound from the motors. So overall, just a really nice experience so far with the app. Now, the app has a bunch of different features here, like this feature here where you can auto track a face, and it'll automatically, funny enough, go for Dr. Strange as a face. So that means when I move the gimbal or I move the subject, you'll see the gimbal follow the subject, the face that it's supposed to be tracking. So the face tracking works really well on this, and it does also, as you'll see in a little bit here when we walk around outside as well. So it has some really nice features. Now you have object tracking as well, and what you can do with object tracking is you can hit the object button there, and it's going to ask you to select part of the screen where the object is, and then what will happen here is we'll select Dr. Strange again, and you can see the gimbal will automatically track that object no matter where I move. So again, another awesome feature within the app. If you want to move the gimbal back to its original position, just use the trigger button twice and it will move back to its original position. Now there are many more settings that you can set with the Hohem Joy app using your modes. You can set all your modes here. You can also set the follow speed for slow, medium, and fast, so you can actually change the speed of the motors, something that you wouldn't be able to do without using the app itself. So they've really done a lot of things here with this. The joystick left and right to pan, but if we want to roll with the joystick, we can do that as well. Again, they've done a lot with this app, and I could go on for quite some time on the app to really cover everything, but then this video would be like an hour long. But you've got so many features that the app gives the gimbal that it's definitely worth installing and using, in my opinion. Okay, so this is me outside with the gimbal on the Samsung S22 Ultra, and you can see that I'm walking and it's going to try to keep my face in the picture. So if I move, the gimbal will follow me. So there you go. That's with face tracking on the front camera of the S22 Ultra. Okay, so now we're going to use the rear camera here, and I'm just going to walk and kind of show you how well this stabilizes here. So we're just going to walk around, and we'll do a little running as well so that you can see how it does while we're running. First, I just want to kind of pan around and show you that this does a pretty sufficient job at keeping everything stable with these motors. So you can see I can pan around and everything works out pretty well. Okay, so we're going to try a running test now so that we can see how we are while we kind of just run through the parking lot here and see how well this stays stable. So I am running, jogging, running. And that'll give you an idea of how well that does. Okay, so you can get some very interesting shots. You can get some low-level ground shots here, and it works out really well for stabilizing. As you can see, obviously I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't have something like this gimbal to make this effect happen. Now, in the actual app, they have something called Inception mode as well, which will basically rotate your entire phone so that you can get this kind of Inception type cinematic type of thing here. And I'm walking while I'm doing this as well, and it really does a great job at keeping everything stable as we go. So there you go. That's my review of the Hohem iSteadyMobile Plus handheld stabilizing gimbal. This is an excellent product if you're looking to get into smartphone videography, or something that you really want to kind of level up your game a little bit with smartphone videos. Then this is a very good gimbal to get into, in my opinion. It's got a lot of features right off the bat, even just using your regular built-in camera on whatever device you're going to have in here. But it also has a lot of excellent features in the app that comes with it, the Hohem Joy app. It really does open up a lot more for this gimbal, including exclusive modes like Inception, which I showed you, and a bunch of others that, again, if I really went over that, this would be like an hour-long video. So overall, I'm very impressed with the iSteadyMobile Plus and can definitely give this a thumbs up. This was Luke from Galaxy Tech Review. I hope you enjoyed my review, and I'll check you guys out on the next one.